the next session, we will begin with a 3-minute session where Ms. Dua will be our moderator. With that, good luck everyone and enjoy the session.
And Kertiga. Honorable panelists, distinguished participants, and our students, a very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to today's thrilling 3MT competition. I'm here, Dua Akhtum. I'm delighted to be your moderator for this exciting session. I would like to introduce our team member for the 3MT competition. As an advisor, we have Dr. Nibras Abdullah, the coordinator, Iwi, and for the timekeeper, we have Pampam. The 3-minute thesis competition is an exciting academic challenge that originated at the University of Queensland in 2008. It invites graduate students to present their research and its significance in just 3 minutes in a language appropriate to a non-specialist audience. The contest not only sharpens participants' academic presentation and research communication skills, but also provides a platform to showcase the impact of their scholarship and research to a broader community. So for today, we are thrilled to showcase 10 students from diverse academic fields, each bringing unique insights. These participants will have the chance to demonstrate their innovative thinking and mastery in a dynamic context of creativity. So the schedule here shows the participants' name along with their titles presentation for today. You can refer to this, you can scan the QR code as shown on the screen. And for evaluation and get informative feedback, we have 5 esteemed panels. We have Associate Professor Dr. Chia Yuen, Associate Professor Muhammad Azam Usman, Dr. J.C. Lius Sutian, and Dr. Zarul Fitri Zaba, and Dr. Sukumar Lichmunan. Now, I want to catch your attention towards the rules of this 3MT competition. As you can see here, do not move the designated stage area during the presentation. Please turn your phones on silent mode. And there is no question and answer session after the presentation. Do keep an eye on the time. Presentation exceeding 3 minutes will be negatively marked. When start the presentation, there will be a 1-note bell to notify you. After 2 minutes 30 seconds, there will be a 2-note bell to notify you. And on 3 minutes, there will be a 3-note bell to alert you. Okay, now for judging criteria, you can scan the QR code also to have more information about, as shown on the screen. Okay, now let's start our exciting competition. I would like to invite the second speaker as the schedule was showing, because I will skip the first speaker because he is not available, he or she not available. So I would like the second speaker, Ubaidat Jasur Ahmad Mahmoud, with the title, A Synergistic Approach to Enhancing Performance and Security to Metaverse Classrooms through Cloudlet, under supervisor Dr. Muhammad Najwadi bin Yusuf. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell. Yes.
Mr. Metaverse, I'm hearing something from there. What's happening? There's a Metaverse classroom. Okay, wait. There's a clash there. What's happening? Actually, there are some latency in the classroom. The student avatars, they are trying to combine their arms with their avatars. Oh my God, what's happening? How to solve this issue? Actually, we need to do something. Call anything, call the servers, call the resources. How to do it? Oh my God, we are busy to just broadcast and stream the videos. Okay, what to do? We need, we are seeing a lady coming from there. What's happening? Do you know her? Just try to navigate the name. Call the database from the LMS. Please fill the form at the beginning, then I will give it to you. Oh my God. Okay, I need to prevent these kind of things. We have to check the blockchain. Maybe we can do something in order to prevent any malicious software or any injection. Blockchain is there. In order to start work, I have to get the resources, follow the resources. From where I can give you the resources? I'm busy by broadcasting the video. Mr. Metaverse, there's a guy there in USM. His name is Jasur. I think he is trying to do something there. Let us hear from him. In my PhD, actually, I'm focusing in order to improve the latency, improve the security, and the routing protocols. Actually, there is a lot of ideas there in order to building or proposing a new network architecture by combining the cloudlet and the edge computing together in order to improve and in order to decrease the number of transactions that is coming to the cloud server, because you know the cloud server is something far away from the edges, from the IoT devices. So we propose to get into the edges, and then later on we are entering the cloudlet in order to managing the computing power and to have an expectation of improving the performance and security. In the meantime, we are trying to embed a lightweight, a tiny ML machine language algorithms in order to find out improving on the decision rules and the routing protocols as well as the security. Thank you.
Before moving to the next speaker, I am just giving some time for our judges to evaluate. Our judges, fine? Okay, Dr. Jesse? Okay. Dr. Muhammad Azam? Done? Okay. I would like to invite the second speaker, Oyondo Gabriel Shimasan. Please, you can stand there because of the light, the data show light. Gabriel will share the his title presentation, Development of a Neural Machine Translation Model for VIT Language, under supervisor Dr. Noor Hana Samsuddin. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell.
Good afternoon, the panel of judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Shimasan Yeundu. I'm here to present on the topic, Development of a Neural Machine Translation Model for TIFF Language. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can you still remember how excited you were the first time you discovered you can translate text or speech from other languages to your own language and vice versa? Can you then imagine how sad I feel when I cannot do the same thing? My feeling is just representing the feelings of billions of people around the world who are from underrepresented languages. There are approximately 7,000 languages spoken worldwide. As of the latest update, Google Translate can handle only 133 of these languages. What a small number. Nigeria alone has over 250 languages, and only 3 are supported by Google Translate and other translation apps. The TIFF language spoken by millions of Nigerians remains largely underrepresented in digital and computational language systems. Neural machine translation is an advanced approach to machine translation that uses deep neural networks in translating text or speech from one language to another. Machine translation has made significant advancement for high-resource languages, but development of translation models for low-resource languages remains a challenge. Therefore, this research aims to address this gap by adapting a pre-trained neural machine translation model trained for high-resource language pairs for the TIFF language, leveraging transfer learning techniques. However, instead of fine-tuning the model, which is the prominent approach in adapting to new domains and languages, we propose the use of adapters, which are lightweight trainable models. These adapter layers are inserted between the pre-trained model while freezing the model to preserve its general knowledge. The research also involves the compilation of a TIFF English bilingual textual corpus from articles, books, and oral translation by the TIFF native speakers. The significance of this research lies in its preservation of the TIFF language, promotion of digital inclusion, and enhancement of educational resources for the TIFF speakers. The outcome of this research can also be replicated by similar underrepresented languages worldwide. Just imagine the world without any language barrier, where someone from Asia can understand all the languages in Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, and the rest. That can only be possible with the aid of machine translation systems. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabriel, for your presentation. Waiting for a while for our judges to evaluate. Our judges, fine? Go? Okay. I would like to invite the second speaker, Unsia Khan. Unsia will share her presentation with the title, Early Prediction of Alzheimer's Disease Using Machine Learning, under supervisor Dr. Anusha Achutan. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell.
Imagine I come here for my 3-minute presentation and forget about my title, the opening lines, or even the whole content. Forgetting the daily life task with reduced thinking ability and remember power is one of the symptoms of a disease known as Alzheimer's. It has 3 stages, mild, moderate, and severe. If I forget some of the content from my presentation, that is the mild case. If I forget the majority content, that is moderate. And if I even don't remember why I am here, that is the severe case. About 46.8 million people around the world are suffering from Alzheimer's, which according to a survey of Alzheimer's Disease International, going to double after every 20 years, reaching up to 74.7 million people by 2030. So what to do about it? It's a fact that it cannot be cured once it happens, but we can slow down its progression. Therefore, neurologists aim to diagnose Alzheimer's at the earliest stages to provide better treatment plan and medication. So there are 2 common approaches towards it, imaging analysis and correlation-based analysis. However, the imaging analysis is rarely recommended at the younger age. Let's say if Shamira goes to the doctor for her memory loss, he would hardly go for an imaging scan. And even if he does, it is very difficult to differentiate between the healthy and the suspected brain by merely looking at the scans. This is where the correlation-based analysis comes into play. It is based on the correlation among categorical data. However, the researchers are yet unable to find the answers for the following important questions. The first one is, which category is important? And which set of features out of that particular category are important for the early diagnosis? To answer these questions in my research, I focus on the categorical data, for I believe that the factors like age, race, demographic, education, they contribute towards the development of the disease. For this purpose, I have taken the categorical data from National Alzheimer's Coordination Center, University of Washington. I have built a computer-based system which takes these categories of data and do the diagnosis. Can you imagine a computer system giving answer to your question, am I going to suffer from Alzheimer's after a couple of years? Yes, my computer-based model answered this question for 10,000 people with 96.8% accuracy. I aim to develop and implement such model to let our loved ones live a better life in their old ages. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncia, for your presentation. Waiting for a while to evaluate. Done? Professor, Associate Professor, Dr. Azam, okay? Okay, Dr. Jesse? Okay, thank you. I would like to invite the next speaker, Zhang Xiwan. With the title Privacy Protection in Health Big Data, under Supervisor Associate Professor Dr. Manmeet Mahendrajit Singh. You can start your presentation after you hear the Pairs Notes bell.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I would like to talk about how to protect privacy when deal with health big data. This includes things like medical records and information and genetic information. Which data can help doctors make better decisions and has great potential for medical research. It also brings some huge risks and challenges. First, privacy breaches are a major issue. If personal data gets leaked, the consequences can be serious, such as identity theft, lose money. Additionally, data stored in the cloud can be easy to cyber attacks, and serious changes are even lost. If the data is incorrect or incomplete, it can be lead to incorrect medical decision and poor outcomes. Another challenge is data sharing. Many medical institutions operate independently and don't share information, which makes it hard to get a complete picture for analysis. On top of that, unclear data ownership can lead to legal disputes. Frequent security breaches also weaken public trust, make data collection and use more difficult. To address this problem, my research propose several technology solutions. The first one is data collection and encryption. Hospital or research institutions can use homomorphic encryption to securely share encrypted health data with third parties, or not allow pausing without supposing their own data. The phase two is data storage and sharing. Use blockchain technology. Patients have more control over who can access and use their data. The phase three is distributed data analysis. It allows different institutes to collaborate on machine learning models without sharing raw data. Maintain privacy while improve currency. The last phase is the artificial immune systems. This system employs real-time threat detection with data system to ensure continuous security. Thank you.
Thank you, Zhang, for your presentation. Waiting for a while for evaluation by our judges. Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Azam, then? Okay. I would like to invite the next speaker, Zhang Hao, to present the title and instruction tuning based contrastive learning framework for aspect sentiment quad prediction with implicit aspects and opinion under supervisor associate professor Dr. Chia Yu N. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell.
Hi everyone, my topic is instruction tuning based contrastive learning for aspect-based sentiment analysis. First, I want to talk about the background and problem statements. To give you a sentence, for example, fast and the battery life of this phone is great, but I'm unable to connect it to the Wi-Fi, so we can extract three catchballs. The first one is fast, but the aspect is implicit, so we just know it's fast. Maybe it's for the category is operation, and for sentiment is positive. And for the second one, you can say battery life. The category is battery, and opinion is great, but the sentiment is positive. But for the second one, I'm able to connect it to the Wi-Fi, so we don't know the opinions. Maybe it's you have to infer it from the context. So we can know aspect is Wi-Fi, category is network, but the opinion is implicit. Sentiment is obviously negative. So sometimes you can see that when we can find that some sentence, even though in the news or online platforms, we can't know sometimes we can't know the sentiment tendencies because it's implicit. So based on this, I propose a framework, instruction tuning based contrastive learning. On the left part is use the few shot and zero shot, one shot and few shot to give the example to the patron language models to train the mode to know, to get the mode to know what we want to do, and use the instructions to let the mode to follow our instructions. And on the right part is the contrastive learning. So you can see that I separate 4 layers in the patron language models encode their last hidden layers. For the different layer is sentiment and representation, aspect representation, opinion representation, and combine of the different kinds of the aspects and opinions. So based on these two methods, I can get the experiment result. You can see that from the epoch 1 to epoch 50, the different colors of the points as separated and minimize the similarities of the labels and far away of the different kinds of the different colors of the representations. For the outcomes, this work have accepted by the EMNLP 2004. Thanks.
Thank you, Zhang, for your presentation. Waiting for a while for evaluation. George is fine? Okay. Done? Okay. I would like to invite the next speaker, Muhammad Fadil Ibrahim, with the title, A Proposed Meta-Learning Model for Peer Review Score Prediction Based on Coherence and Consistency, under Supervisor Associate Professor Dr. Gang King Hoon. You can start your presentation after you hear the prayers bell notes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to share with you my thoughts about the peer review score prediction. Actually, we all know that the peer review process has been endorsed as one of the most professional ways that aims to ensure and check the quality of manuscripts before getting published. And this process has been used since long time. Although this process is good, actually, but it sometimes combines with some challenges, such as bias and limited knowledge. And on top of these limitations is the time. We all know that the peer review process now takes somehow long time. And this is because of the vast number of researchers being published and the limited number of reviewers. So that, and these problems actually call for the utilization of NLP to mitigate such limitations. And NLP in this context can be used as for like parsing, screening, decision making, and scoring. Scoring is our scope actually in this context. So what do we mean by scoring? Scoring simply when a reviewer receives a manuscript, checks for some parts, for some points of the manuscripts, and then gives some scores. These scores can be later on used by the editors to make a decision about the paper, whether this accepted or not. And this context, there are several studies that proposed peer review score prediction, but we found that there's some lack in finding the alignment between the review reports and the manuscript itself. And also, most of these researchers concentrate on the abstract out of the paper and overlook other parts. In this context, we propose our model, which is extracting new features, the consistency feature. By this feature, we try to measure the alignment, the distance between the review reports that's written by reviewers and the manuscript. Also, we try to measure the coherence of the manuscripts. We use these two features in MLP model, and we use also some other features, numeric features like readability score, word count, and other scores. We use XGBoost for this. Then we combine these two models with one united model, which is the meta-learning model. And by adopting this model, actually, we aim to enhance the peer review score prediction and try to mitigate some challenges, especially for the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fadel, for your presentation, for waiting for a while for evaluation. Score. Done? Okay. I would like to invite the next speaker, Galib Muhammad Shahrayar Himal. The title of his presentation is Skin Cancer Segmentation and Classification Using Vision Transformer for Automatic Analysis in Dermatoscopy Based Non-Invasive Digital System, under Supervisor Dr. Anusha Achutan. You can start your presentation after you hear the prayers notes bell.
So, going straight to the topic, among the total number of skin cancers. Skin cancer actually is the one written from the top of the list, and 10% cases of the total cancers are actually related to skin cancer. But skin cancer is the only type of cancer in which the cell mutation actually happens on the surface level of the skin. So it is actually possible to collect the samples using a non-invasive method. In many cases, patients are afraid of the invasive methods, and also it is time consuming, and at the same time it is very costly. So to solve that problem, in the primary stage, if we can do the screening using an AI-based model, in that case the time can be reduced as well as the cost. So to do this, we have proposed framework which actually consists of two stages. In the first stage, is related to the segmentation, and the second stage, after segmenting the ROI, it will classify between the benign and malignant cases. For the segmentation, we have proposed the SAM model, which is actually developed by Facebook, but so that to work the model better in our specific case, I have optimized the models and trained the parameters using our own data set. And in the segmentation phase, rather than using the convolutional neural network, I have incorporated the VIT model, which is the vision transformer, and rather than using the raw vision transformer, I have incorporated the pre-trained weight from different models inside my vision transformer model, and also optimize the parameter. As you can see, actually, the experiment is done already. So in the result, we can see that the segmentation accuracy we got is 98% for the IOU, that is the intersection over union, and for the Dice coefficient value, it is 99.5%, which is pretty good. And for the segmentation model, for the classification model, I have actually experimented on 6 different models. Those are not actually vision transformer models rather than other models, but I have used those models and found out that the Google's VIT model, which is the 32-based patch model, generated the highest result, which is 96.15%. And in future, I'm also planning to apply some other ensemble models also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Galip, for your presentation, giving some time for evaluation. Associate Professor, Dr. Mohammed. Okay, I would like to invite the next speaker, Alil Jabiri, with the title Improved Automated Multi-Phase Detection and Classification Methods of Learner Engagement Under Partial Occlusion in Videos, under Supervisor Associate Professor Muhammad Azam Usman. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell.
In a physical classroom environment, students are interacting with their peers, contents, and instructors. The instructors need to evaluate all students' engagement level based on their facial expressions. This is important to identify struggling students, improve learning outcomes, and building a supportive learning environment. However, instructors use direct observation to evaluate students' engagement, which become difficult for an instructor to monitor every students in a larger classes. In a larger classes due to the number of students and limited time available. In addition, the partial occlusion, most of the students wearing, most of the students wearing masks and cover their face by hand, also devices. This is prevent the instructor to evaluate all students engaged or unengaged. To address this issue, deep learning methods solve this issue by capturing the frames from the camera and pass it to the models to detect and classify the facial expressions into positive or negative facial expressions, such as positive include happy and surprise, while negative include disgust, angry, fear. Therefore, deep learning still has issue. What I found in the literature review, one-stage object detection outperformed the two-stage object detection. Therefore, my research focusing on the two-stage object detection to improve it based on the accuracy and the speed. Also, the classification, the models has issue, cannot classify the face side view. So to solve this issue, also we need to use the 3D model. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for your presentation. Before proceeding to the last speaker, just wait for a while for evaluation. Still have 10? Oh, 11. Yes. Sorry, 11. This is still we have 2 more. Dr. Jesse? Okay, done? Okay. I would like to invite Kalibani Silvaraj with her presentation, Black Cat Ransom Attack Prevention Using Tuned Layers of Deep Learning, and the supervisor, Associate Professor Dr. Manmeet Mahendrajit Singh. You can start your presentation after you hear the Pairs Note bell. Please, here.
Good afternoon all. According to a recent ransomware annual study, 79% of Malaysian businesses has been hit by ransomware attacks. Because of this ransomware attacks, mainly they are targeting the healthcare sector. Why? Because hospitals store sensitive patient data and the value of patient data is extremely high, and the healthcare sectors often lack robust security measures. Even they have Malaysia's Personal Protection Data Act, they are suffering from ransomware attack. This ransomware attack targets the healthcare sector, mainly the servers. Once they enter into the servers, they encrypt all the patient data and locks the hospital's operations and demands a ransom for its release. Without this data, the doctors cannot provide proper treatment to the patients, and sometimes this leads to patient's death. Human life is very precious. Why this ransomware attack is happening? Why it is very difficult to identify and detect? Because ransomware comes in different variants. Each variant has different characteristics. They have different behaviors, and each use different techniques to deploy an attack. In my research, I focus on Black Hat ransomware, which is one of the most dangerous ransomware variant. It operates through multi-stage, and it is very difficult to detect at the early stage. In my research, I focus on preventing and detecting these ransomware variants at the early stage, I mean at the pre-encryption stage. To employ this, I start by dynamically monitoring the recent ransomware variants from various threat intelligence platforms, and I analyze how a compromised system behaves. This allows me to develop a data set by using deep learning algorithms. This handles a very large data set, and it predicts even the subtle variant. So by using dynamic monitoring, and I use Jetson NanoKit, this Jetson NanoKit allows me to monitor the real-time hardware parameters, and it allows me to develop this data set. By using this, I can protect the Malaysia's healthcare sector and from ransomware and its variants to save human life from death. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalevani, for your presentation. Before proceeding to the next and the last speaker, waiting for a while for evaluation. Wait, please for a while. We are waiting the evaluation. Good, okay. Raftia? Done? Okay, I would like to invite Wong Chuan Chua to share his presentation with the title Deep Attention LSTM Relation Network for Skeleton-Based Group Activity Recognition, under Supervisor Associate Professor Dr. Ahmed Sufrail Azlan Mohammed. You can start your presentation after you hear the first note bell.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm presenting a novel action recognition model called ARN-LSTM. The key motivation is to improve the accuracy of on-group activity recognition, especially by adjusting the challenge of capturing the temporal joint strings. Most traditional methods either focus on temporal or joint string subtree, which limits their effectiveness. To solve this problem, a multi-string architecture is proposed to confuse joint, motion, and temporal features. This model consists of three main components. First, the RN joint strings. Second, temporal string. Third, ARN-LSTM block. The block used the TD-LSTM to this block used the TD-LSTM to enhance the temporal relations, followed by ARN-LSTM followed by attention are relational network to enhance these strengths. The output from these strings fused joints, motion, and temporal features. The model was evaluated on the NTU RGBD 120 dataset and achieved the state-of-art results. From the confusion matrix, it indicates the parallel results. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. We'll be waiting for a while for evaluation. Then, Associate Professor Dr. Chia. Okay, thank you to all our participants for their dedication and innovative ideas. And remember, the aim is not only to win, but also to learn from each other and push the boundaries of what is possible. As we conclude today's competition, I would like to invite our judges to give some feedback. Dr. Sukumar.
Thank you for the MC. Okay. First of all, I would like to say congratulations for all the participants. Okay, it's not easy to come out with the 3MT. It's a competition. I would like to say you should give a big round of applause for them. Okay, coming from different nation, I mean from a different country. Okay, I can see quite numbers of Pakistan, India, China. Okay, there is no Malaysia, but also Nigeria is there. So it's good. Okay, I can see it's very challenging for judges to give feedback. But I mean not feedback, I mean the marks here, because most of them is very good. Okay, and however, I got some comment. 3MT is the point here. The two things that I would like to say. One is your PowerPoint. You need to maximize your slide. You're only given one slide. That slide should be maximized, whatever space you have. I can squeeze a lot of space there. And when you maximize, make sure things that also can be understood by the audience. There's no point for you to put it, what you call diagram, but it's very beautiful, but it's only you can understand what is the diagram all about. So it's very important, okay? And if you already have your title in your slide, I mean your, your PowerPoint slide, you don't need to tell again, because your time also very crucial. It's 3 minutes, okay? You need to maximize your PowerPoint and also the time that given. So that's the point of 3 minutes. It's not easy to, after you want to present your whole work in 3 minutes. That's the challenge here. Okay, so you take it up very well, but still there's improvement can be done. And I can see some students take too long when they, that is not good for this one. You need to practice before you come for 3MT competition, that is for sure. And then I see some already 2 bells, then only you're talking about literature review. That is really bad. Okay, so I think you should be planned in that 3 minutes what you're supposed to do. Because the winner from here, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dr. Mami will say, the winner of this competition will represent the School of Computer Science for university level. So it's very important you are going to bring the image of school to out there. So we want a strong and very good candidate to go out there. If you can also represent university. Okay? It's something extra point for you besides you're doing your master's or PhD. So I mean that is really a challenge and also give a credit. Okay, I think Dr. Zarul and Dr. Chia have more points. Let them talk first.
Okay, thank you very much. I always say this, right? I'm gonna keep it sweet and short, right? But it never is sweet and short, right? But first of all, I think for our 10 candidates, our 10 participants who participated in 3MT, I applaud you. I think it takes courage to be up there and try to summarize, what you're doing in 3 minutes, right? And I think a lot of you maybe doesn't have this. I think this courage is important. And if you've taken this first step, really like a big pat on your shoulder, because a lot of the, when you go down this research road, science communication is a very important part of your journey, right? So I think taking this step, it's very important. I think some of you have done very well. I think some of you I can see were very nervous when you were in front. But again, I think 3MT basically is, you don't have much time, right? So don't think of this as like a normal presentation, like research presentation or your Viva, right? So when I did the judging, I come at it as, my mind is blank. I'm a layman. I don't understand, like, for example, I come in like your grandmother, right? Like I don't really understand CS research, right? So then it's your job to tell me what your research is all about, right? So. So I come at it that way, and I think a lot of these 3MT presentations have that kind of purpose, right? So I think some of you have done, made that extra mile to kind of like try to, explain to a layman, which is good, and then some of you actually still followed that typical like research format, right? Which probably wouldn't make your presentation as interesting, right? So I think one of the things to think about is, take away from this maybe is to look at, depending on your audience, right? Really try to cater your presentation for your audience. I know some of you have very impressive, like, your results, charts, right? But I think when you put on when I did the judging for your presentation slide, I think the most impactful ones are the ones who, not like the entire slide full, right? Those who like, I look at your slide, I understand what you're trying to say, right? Visually, I think that was more impactful than you fill up the entire slide with 10,000 charts and then 10,000 images, and I don't know how they're connected to each other, right? So one takeaway, if you're looking at visual aids, simple and nice is good, clear, straight to the point, but, just explaining like, what's important, the flow, right? Not so much like, I have results and this and this and that. I think that can be quite confusing because your 3 minutes, you don't have enough time to explain all of those anyways, right? Okay? That's some of the comments. I'll pass over to Dr. Zaru. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, first and foremost, congratulations for doing such a tremendous and excellent job in front of all of us today. Okay, maybe I'll talk a little bit more on the technicality when you do your presentation, especially in 3MT. I can see there is a technique, what we call a hooking technique when you are in a public speaking area. The hooking technique, basically you start with some sort of like question, give the audience, the scenario that they can imagine, put questions so that they can visualize what's going on. So all those type of technique, I think you should try to explore a little bit further. That's number one. Number two, in terms of your gesture or your body posture, although this is 3MT, you should be sort of like a bit static in the middle there, but the way how you express thing, the way how you pronounce thing, must be precise, must be clear, and must be able to convince us, the judges, and also the audience. If you can, this is going to be very difficult. If you have the funny character in your presentation, then it will be a bonus. It's going to be very difficult because our content sounds very serious. But if you manage to find and explore the X factor that can differentiate between you and others, then it will be a bonus. But overall, I'm very satisfied with the presentation. It is not easy, it needs a lot of courage to be there. I can see some of you a little bit shaking here and there. That's normal. It's going to be worse in your Viva, okay? So at least this is a good practice, okay? So congratulations once again.
Okay, as I was thinking of what to say, I think some of the things gel pretty much with what Dr. JC and Dr. Zaro had to say, because number one, you do not really have much time, and therefore you only, I equate this to something like an elevator pitch. You only have that couple of floors to go up, and what's the research all about? And then you have to really perk the interest of whoever is listening to you to buy into your idea. So I think which means the traditional way of presentation, going by your objectives, problem statement, methodology, that one is going to be super boring already. Everybody is going to do that. So as what Dr. Zaro said, you have to make yourself stand out in how you deliver your idea. So yeah, the majority of you will be following that formula. So the better ones will tend to move away from that formula. Yeah, and again, yeah, the better use of the time to arouse the interest of the user. I mean, the listener is actually very important. Tone it down to the regular audience, and not so much of the technical aspect. I mean, a lot of. I mean, the temptation is to impress the people with all the technical jargons and all that. But yeah, many people will actually be lost in the first few seconds when you start rambling on all the technicalities. So yeah, it's important to tone it down to what the audience is capable of digesting. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone. I don't have comment, but I have advice. Okay, some of you maybe this is the first timer to join 3MT. The 2P is very important, planning and practice. Since you have 3 minutes to present and to deliver the content, failure to deliver the content to the judge or to the audience, you will fail everything, even though how good you do your research. And then learning through experience is very important so that you can deliver the best. Thank you.
Thank you to our judges for their dedication and expertise in evaluating today's presentations. Your insights are invaluable to the success of this competition. So thank you so much for all the judges and our participants for today. So stay tuned till next session. I'm passing to you, Ali and Bertine. Thank you so much.